Hey everyone, this is the R3 Mechanical Office Hours, and this is your chance here to ask any questions you want for the training modules, specifically training module 1. I'm Jacob speaking, one of the mechanical co-leads.
And I'm Jason, the other mechanical lead. We'll be running until 8:30, so if you guys have any questions till then.
Feel free to comment any questions in the YouTube chat or the comment area. You've got a first question. Had a question regarding what it would take to be placed on the rover team.
I feel like in regards to that, just try your hardest on the first and second module. I feel like the second module might be a little bit of a better chance to show yourself off because it's a bit more freehand. You'll be designing things on your own.
Yeah. So just a little more context, the second module, you'll be kind of filling in the gaps, so to speak, for some parts. Basically, you'll be given maybe like 80% of an assembly, and then it's up to you to finish up that assembly, whether it's by using, off-the-shelf parts or custom parts or both. It's a chance for you to show uh, some of your mechanical knowledge and assembly. As long as you do the training modules, you'll pretty much you'll be working in the rover on the rover in some form. Assuming that you got the modules and you signed up on time.
Yeah, so basically, for the compared to the first task is more like you're following specific instructions and you're making the part like exactly how we want it to be. But the second task, we're going to give you a pre-made assembly, and you basically have to finish off that assembly based on certain requirements that we give you, and then you're free to design it however you want, as long as it meets those certain requirements.
I think I missed the second part of your question. You're asking, you have a friend on the team that you would like to work with. If you have a preference for who you would like to work with, you can let us know, and we can try our best to put you guys together if we think it's a good fit. So another question we have, one of the parts I input the dimensions in millimeters, but they're displayed in inches. Is that okay, or should I remake the part? Displayed in inches. Let me quickly check on shape.
Do you mean that instead of putting like, let's say 100 millimeters, you put in 100, but it's actually inches. First three modules.
Didn't go in depth. Okay, so making the drawing of a simple part. We don't expect you to make the drawing for these parts because obviously we've given you the drawing. But if you're asking for like how to read engineering drawings, I can help. I can pull up an example. I'll just let's see. I just search one up and then I'll share my screen in a minute. Actually, I can just share the drawings that we have. Um, do- sorry. Give me a moment and get my tabs sorted. Okay. You're able to see the oh, hold on. Yeah, give us a minute. We'll need to get this on shared. Okay, so you said put in 100 millimeters but displays as 4 inches. That might be, well, 100 meters is approximately 4 inches. So it might just be like your default, whatever your default, like your default
Oh,
measurement system is. Uh, Um, because like, sorry, if you type in like 100 mm, then it should give you like the correct dimension, but then it's just like your default measurement system is in imperial, so then it'll just show you what it is in inches when you measure it.
yeah. So if you actually go on the top left on your document, if you go in the three dashes and you click on document properties, sorry,
Sure.
workspace units, I mean, you can change it to millimeters and it should display as millimeters.
Yeah. Okay. So you should be able to see I have it on the doc. It says this is the training test that was sent to you. Um, so I can kind of walk through the drawing with you. I'm not going to tell you exactly how to make the part, obviously, because we want to see what you guys know. But I think a common question that we get is like, what is like with the chamfers here? First of all, we see this note on the right here, chamfer on both sides of all chamfered holes. That's just something you'll see sometimes on drawings because it's cumbersome to dimension every single hole or chamfer, especially if it's the same dimension chamfer. So what you usually see is the chamfer or similar feature, whatever feature that is repeated throughout the part as uh, having letters TYP next to it. So typical, it stands for typical. And that just means that whatever feature this is pointing to, in this case, it's 3 by 45 degrees chamfer typical. It means that dimension applies to all chamfers on that part, unless otherwise specified. Let me zoom in a bit here so you can see it better as well. And then here we have a auxiliary view on the top left here. So if you haven't taken Mech 222, and I think probably, I'm not sure if I think that's a second year, first year engineering course, or sorry, second semester, first year engineering course. Um, but an auxiliary view is basically uh, a secondary view that is, you know, normal to a certain feature or face that you're interested in. I'm not sure how this is showing up on the video. Is this blurry on your end?
Yeah, it's a little blurry.
Mm.
Also, if you're talking about making an actual drawing in Onshape, the bottom left, if you see the plus arrow, you can create a drawing and then dimension it from there. But it's not necessary for the first task.
Yeah, it's over here. But I think someone is asking a question. Double check what the submissions are. So the submissions are two parts for module one. It is figure 1.3 in the training task one, and figure 1.4. Those two drawings, we want you to create them in Onshape and submit those. And the submission details are in the training task document.
Yeah. Basically, there's a Google form, and you just write in the name of your file on Onshape, and we'll be able to find it on the public domain, and then basically look at it from there.
Yep. Module 2 is not out yet. I think that will be releasing on the 10th when the due date for the module 1.
Yeah, it's not out yet, but you can maybe start brainstorming based on what we said during the kickoff meeting. I can also send you guys a few videos in the Discord if you guys want to watch some things beforehand.
Yeah, sorry about the quality. I'm not sure if I can do much on my end to fix that. But you guys have the training modules and you have those drawings. Is there any specific questions about anything that's on those drawings? Like, is there anything you don't understand? I know someone was asking about like going through or like teaching them about basic CAD drawings. At the kickoff, we were saying for module 2, basically we'll be giving you a mostly completed assembly, and you will be asked to complete that assembly, basically a joint or something, uh, with either off-the-shelf parts or parts that you create. You can check if your shapes are public if you go to Onshape and then like you can search if you go to Onshape and then on the left side there should be a public icon. Just click on that and then you can search in public and just search your document name and it should pop up. It might take a while. It takes a lot. It takes a bit to load in because you're searching for like one document in like I don't even know how many documents are on the public server. So yes, so the you won't be making CAD drawings because we've given you the CAD drawings. You'll be making the part in Onshape using the CAD drawings and the dimensions on the drawings.
So does that make sense? Or
Yep. Okay.
all good?
Another thing to note, specifically for figure 1.4, the second part, another common thing to do because engineers are lazy is when you have features of the same dimension on this same part, you'll often see something like this, where here we have three holes that are the same size, all 25 millimeters in diameter. So it's pointing to one of the holes and it just says 3 times 25 millimeter diameter. So you know that any holes around on this part that are, that look like this size are going to be 25 millimeters. And that's just so they don't have to have this arrow pointing to every single circle. And here we have again on this view, 2 times 15, 2 times 20. That's referring, 15 is referring to this through hole, and the R20 is referring to this radius here on the outside. So this is one radius, this is the other radius. Obviously, you have two holes here. And be careful where the lines, the leader lines are. So what I mean by leader lines are these arrows point to these straight lines, and these straight lines point to features on the part. So if I zoom in a bit, you can see, for example, this 120, obviously, these leader lines go from one edge to the other edge. So basically it's saying the overall length is 120. And notice how this 45 is pointing to this top part of the part rather than the bottom part of the part. And it's a small difference, but it is a difference. Is there any other questions about uh, any other parts like submission or not being able to access anything? Making it public, what units do you want the mass to be in? Grams would be good. That's the metric standard. Kilograms is also okay. Doesn't really matter, but grams just makes it a little easier because that's probably what I'll be comparing the number to. And yet, don't make it imperial because then I'll have to convert it.
Yeah, so if any of you guys forget any of the information that we say today, I believe this should be saved on our YouTube channel for later. So if you wanted to review it, it should be there.
Yep. And we also have the Discord if you want to just type your questions, and we'll probably answer those pretty fast as well. Obviously, if we get flooded with questions the night before the modules due, we can't guarantee we'll be able to get to all of them.
Yep, no problem.
I just made a few changes.
I think you should be okay because the way we're checking the part is that from the Google form, we're gonna take the name from the part and then search it up. But if you make any updates to the part on Onshape, it should update. We should be able to see the changes. So I think you're okay.
yeah. So you don't need to fill out a new form. The form is kind of just for feedback for us, so we can look at it.
As long as the file has the same name, it should be okay. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, just a heads up for anyone still watching. We'll be ending the office hours a little earlier, so around 7:30-ish, just because there's not many questions, which is good, I guess. I guess you guys know what you're doing. But we will still be continuing answering questions on the Discord channel. So if you uh have any more questions, you can feel free to ask them there. Just giving everybody a heads up that we'll be ending a little early. So if you have any friends you know that may have any questions, you should ping them, and then they can hop on before we wrap up here.
but one feline in Northern Virginia is hitting the water instead of the gym in an effort to lose weight. Holly is a 13-year-old cat who dislikes the outdoors and other physical activities, but with encouragement from her owner and weekly visits to the Old Town Pet Resort. Holly has managed to lose 1 pound in 6 weeks. Holly has managed to lose 1 pound in 6 weeks. Stay with us, everybody. We've got a lot more to come.
All right, I don't think anyone else is coming. I think we'll end it early. For those that did come, thanks for coming. Um, we will be hosting another session for the second module in the future, so keep an eye out for that. Other than that, I think we are pretty much done.
Yep. Thank you for everyone for coming. Thank you for your questions. Yeah, and we'll, like Jason said, we'll be answering more questions for the next module, and also we'll be continuing to answer questions on Discord if you have them. Great. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.